Welcome to Oregon's Perfect Model. I'm your host, Carrie Wimmer. In the last episode, we watched 20 models compete in a swimsuit photo shoot with photographer Michael Zog. The style was fashion editorial. Special guest judges who are industry leaders and viewer votes decided which 11 models moved on to this round of Oregon's Perfect Model. In this episode, 11 models remain, each competing for the title of Oregon's Perfect Model.
What I think the perfect model for this shoot is somebody who showcased their hair and their makeup, as well as working with our photographer to really connect with him and show what he can do with us as well.
Sarah, I really like this. It's great connection to the camera. I love your makeup, great styling by the MUAs and hairstylists. It's not exactly avant-garde, it's not particularly interesting, but it is really lovely. I see what you're trying to go for, simple beauty. And avant-garde is a bit more over the top. I think you should keep that in mind next time you do an avant-garde shoot. Other than that, really well done.
For this shoot, I feel like I was pretty adaptable. I had no idea what I looked like until after this whole thing was done, and I was pretty surprised of how wild everyone's hair and makeup was, but I feel like I did pretty well with representing Jody and the work she did with my face, which is awesome.
What I like about Lauren's shot right here, being the avant-garde, she's kind of letting her eyes do the talking, as opposed to like relying on makeup or the hairstyles, and she's not pulling off any elaborate looks that would probably detract, at least the way I look at it, from anything that could be commercial. So I really like this picture of Lauren.
I think it's all about the interaction that you have with the camera and with the photographer. I think it's all about connecting and the energy from the photographer and that interaction and that energy that you feel.
With Lacey, I think she's a very beautiful girl. The makeup and hair is really awesome. I'm not really feeling engaged with this particular photo. I'm not seeing that it really sells anything. She's a very beautiful girl and the hair and makeup is beautiful, but I'm not feeling like it all ties together.
Well, I think to be the perfect model for this photo shoot, what a model needs to do is really be aware of the angles of their face. Considering it's just your shoulders and up, you need to know how to pose without your body basically, and make sure that you can smile with your eyes and make different facial expressions to express different poses kind of, while also using your hands in an elegant way. Just because it's really a challenge to use your hands when it's such an up-close photo. And just make sure that you're really focusing on like your key point. Like for me, I have a long neck.
Kayleen, wow. I love the connection and I really like the emotion you're putting forward. This is a lovely beauty avant-garde headshot. Styling is gorgeous on you, wonderful colors. Really well done overall. I love the lips, I love the eyes, I love the hand. Very, very well done.
I think to be the perfect model for this photo shoot, what I try to really do is try different things, try different angles in my shoulders and my face.
Okay, Karen, her eyes look a little bit lost in this photo, but all in all, it was the best shot. Her hand placement's really nice. She does have very strong features, so I think she did pretty good in this one. But maybe she should kind of tone down and soften the eyes a little bit.
For the perfect model for this shoot, I think someone really needs to take advantage of the way an artist has played out their best features. So with your hair and your makeup, with the angles, it's really important to pay attention to those and to angle your face that best features not only the makeup and the hair, but also your best features. For myself, I think I actually struggled for the first time with this shoot, but I really challenged myself to go in there and take in the character, because for me, the angles are rougher, they're contrasts, and for my face shape, it was much more difficult for me to play that that edge.
Yeah, I like Jessica's pose right here. She's letting her stronger features work for her, and instead of trying to do any cheese here, she's just pretty much giving a straight eye look to the camera. So again, all in all, I'm pretty much liking Jessica's picture.
Knowing that you can only pose with your shoulders, like shrug the shoulders or something. And I think that what I brought in order to be the perfect model for this shoot was that confidence, and I did give a variety of poses.
I kind of like Stephanie's picture here. She's trying to, at least in my opinion, pull off the Amy Winehouse meets Lady Gaga. Letting her eyes do a lot of work right here. Kind of got a sultry, poundy mouth. Like the way she's framed her face as well. So I would say all in all, this is a pretty decent picture of Stephanie.
I believe the perfect model for this photo shoot was someone that really represented their hair and makeup, someone that like gave it their all and put all the effort that you could give into the photo shoot.
Christina, I like it. It's not particularly interesting. Once again, this was an avant-garde shoot. Avant-garde is a little over the top, very emotional, very interesting. And though this is a really lovely headshot and you're a very lovely model, it's simple beauty. It's like a beauty shot, and we needed something a bit more emotional, a bit more high fashion, a bit more over the top. And I think if you projected just a bit more or gave a bit more of an interesting angle with your shoulders or even your face or chin, it would have come out a bit more avant-garde.
All right, I think that the perfect model for this particular photo shoot is one that definitely needs to exude confidence and self-awareness of her angles, which I think that I actually am pretty good about my angles. I really enjoy headshots and glamour beauty style shots, and so I think that I did really well. I think I excelled at this challenge, I hope.
Chantel looks really great in this photo. Her eyes are really nice. Her lips are nice and soft. The only thing that I would say is she did have a little trouble with placement of her hands. They look a little bit awkward, so I would just try to soften things up a little bit more when you're doing photos with your hands framing your face. But all in all, it's a really great photo.
I think to be a perfect model for the avant-garde shoot we did today, I think you need to be able to take on a different persona almost. Be somebody different, be somebody that you're not, and do things that you wouldn't do in your normal day-to-day photo shoots.
This is a really great photo of Amanda. I like the way that she's kind of looking off into the distance. She had a lot of really great shots that were like this. The nice parting of her lips looks really good. Shows her neckline really nicely, so I think this is a really great photo of her as well.
I think for this shoot, what the perfect model needs to have is versatility. I think it's really important to be able to mix up what you're doing. And I mean, I believe that in any shoot, but I think the perfect model for this shoot needed to be able to focus on, you know, the face, because that's what we're doing. And that it's really important to, even if you have one look, to like try to make that look, do it as many different ways as possible, because I think that brings out the versatility, and it allows for the photographer and the judges to be able to pick through a variety of pictures.
Wow, Amber looks amazing in this photo. I love the intensity of her eyes and the way that she holds her body and all of the definition in her body. It really sells that raw, edgy makeup well. Well done, Amber.
So what's Oregon's perfect model? To me, Oregon's perfect model would encompass several different looks and several different styles. There's probably no prototypical model phenotype. So I couldn't say 5'11", size 2, blonde hair, blue eyes, because that's not going to work with everything. And if you're trying to find somebody who's good for commercial, but then again, she doesn't have a runway walk and she's walking on a runway somewhere, those two just aren't going to meet. Portland's kind of a different market than a lot of other places where we've got the sustainable aspect going for us. So a model who again would be 5'11", size 2, blonde hair, blue-eyed, might not come across as a good fit with someone who is trying to show, say, a hemp fiber or an upcycled textile in more of a casual dress. So really, a perfect model would be a chameleon, someone who's comfortable in her own skin, who knows several different poses, who works on those, who's got a great runway walk, and who also is going to allow a stylist to cut her hair, color her hair, perhaps put in contacts, and is going to feel good no matter what she ends up looking like post makeup and hair.